Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Black Spinner Circle Music Vidcast. I'm Al Horta, my esteemed co-host, Andy Rodriguez. What's up,
Hey,
brother?
everybody. Hey, Al, how are you?
I'm good, man. We got a full panel tonight, man. A lot of newcomers here. We
Yeah.
got my friend Donato Fornabayo from Staten Island. Been friends with him for like 25 years. It's been that long already. Jeez. How are you, brother?
Doing very well, brother. How's about you?
I'm good, man. He's a drummer friend of mine. Been in quite a few bands. Cattle Press from Brooklyn. That was in the '90s, right?
Like 99, 2000. Yeah.
Yeah. So glad to have you on, man. Huge Rush fan. We've been to a lot of Rush shows together, and been wanting to get him on. So I got my other buddy, Dave DiLorenzo. What's up, Dave?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, man.
we've been,
Ex-
we've been
excellent.
friends since June
God.
28th, 2002, the Rush show at
in
Hartford.
in Hartford, Connecticut, the first
Yeah.
Rush show of the Vapor Trails tour.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. That's when we met, man.
it is.
It was me and a bunch. It was me and a bunch of us went up and took a drive up from New Jersey, and caught the first show of the Vapor Trails tour. After what, 5 years of them being off,
Yeah,
you know, after all the tragedies and stuff. So yeah, man, been friends ever since. Went to many Rush shows together as well. And my man's a guitarist. Been in many bands. What's your current band you're in?
the last 4 or 5 years, I'm in an 80s tribute called White Wedding. Play around the tri-state area, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. But, I do other things. I mean, playing a 60s band, classic rock, wherever the phone rings and I'm open, I go. So I keep busy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds
cool.
fun.
My good friend Ralph Vieira from Almost Human and Rock and Metal Combat Podcast. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, Ralph. I know you've been on many times. I'm glad you came on tonight too. How you doing, brother?
Thank you for having me, man. I'm very excited to be on a very nerdy Rush episode.
If it has Rush attached to it, it's always going to be nerdy, right?
My God. Hey, next month, April, let's do the best 4 songs off Sex Pistol album.
Well, let's write that down.
That'll be the shortest show in history, man. and for the first time on the show, famed author and God, I mean, your resume is huge. I mean, I don't even know how many books you've done. You've done probably like, I don't know, 6,000 album reviews and for many publications. Martin Popoff, glad to have you
Yeah.
on, brother.
How you doing, guys? Looking forward to this.
Good.
Pretty cool.
Thank you so much for coming on, man. He has his own show, Contrarians, on YouTube. He's been on Sea of Tranquility. He's a regular on there, and I just want to give a shout out to from P Pardo. I'm having a brain fart. I'm sorry, P Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. And I know he's been battling some, but I hope he gets better. Cheers to you, Pete. I hope you recover, have a full recovery. So, but he's one of the hardest working guys on YouTube, man. His show, you could turn it on every day and there's a new show. So, hopefully Pete is good. So anyway, our topic at hand tonight, it's the third month of the year, March. So we're going to rank all the third tracks from every Rush studio album, and from least favorite to favorite. Should be interesting. Going through the tracks, there's a lot of great third tracks on the albums. Some real gems, and maybe some that are a little like maybe not so gemmy. I don't know, man. It depends on timeline where you came in on them, and what have you. But just to go, I mean, it's 19 songs total. It's the third track from every studio I'm on. I'm not going to run through them, but everybody knows on here what they are. And we're going to list them from our least favorite to our favorite. We're going to go 3 at a time. So we'll go 19, 18, 17 on the first round, and 3, I mean, or else the show's going to run like 5 hours. So, but anyway, before we do that, I just kind of want to run through everybody where you first, just give a little synopsis of where you first discovered Rush, maybe the first time you saw them live and everything. We'll start with you, Donato.
Nope, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Yeah, I think you're on mute. Uh-oh.
Still
You
on
having
mute.
trouble there? Okay. Because you were kind of like muffled before.
Okay, let's go to.
All right, Dave. Dave,
Wait.
go ahead, man. You go.
Oh,
Donato will come back.
first Rush show, March 12th, 1977. Capitol Theater, Passaic, New Jersey, opening for Kansas.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm old.
Man, you have no idea. I made like Kansas even more than Rush. I'm a huge Kansas fan. That's awesome.
I actually went because I wanted to see Rush. I was already a Rush fan. My first Rush album was All the World's a Stage, which is what they were touring at this time, and which I bought that record because of that classic cover with the double bass kit and the amps. And I didn't know anything about the band, but I said, they got to be good with that stage. So I bought the All the World's a Stage album, and that was my start with Rush. And so that was my first show, March 77, opening for Kansas. And then probably between there and 1980, I saw him 6 or 7 times on all those early tours.
God, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So that was probably the show after that famous video that came out from '76.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
then,
that was-
who knows? There's probably a pro shot of that show you were at too.
You know, it's kind of funny because that friend of yours, when he was doing the tour dates book some years back, and I was emailing him, telling him about this show, and he just didn't believe me. I said, dude, I don't have the ticket stub anymore, but I shot about 100 pictures that night from the 4th row, which I still have. And he's saying, well, how do you know it's that date? You know, he couldn't find any documentation of it. That was a while ago. That was probably 20 years ago when that guy was doing that, right?
Yeah, Skip Daly.
Skip, right.
Yeah, Skip Daly. He did the book Wandering the Face of the Earth, the complete tour history. And funny story, just real quick about Skip. I met him through when Geddy Lee had his solo album out. He had a message board. It was before Rush ever had like an official website. Geddy actually had like a website for a little website for his My Favorite Headache, and he had actually a message board. And I for some reason, when Rush announced that they were going to come back and they were going to tour again, I came up with this stupid idea. Well, let's everybody vote for the top 5 songs that they want to hear in concert, you know. And I just posted a message on the message board, just saying, "Hey, list them here under the thread or whatever." He got in touch with me, private message. He's like, "Why don't we take your idea and build a website out of it, right?" And I was like, "All right, cool." You know, I'm not much of a tech guy, so I just had the idea. He built the website, so we became partners, and what became rushpetition.com that launched, and it became so big that Anthem Records actually got wind of it, and the band was actually looking at it for ideas. So Skip got in touch with Anthem, and they ended up hooking us up with like great tickets, something within the first 10 rows of wherever we wanted to see them, and backstage passes. I got as a matter of fact, Donato right there, my friend from Staten Island, met me up at PNC Bank Arts Center in Holmdel, New Jersey on the Vapor Trails tour, and we got to meet Geddy and Alex backstage for the first time. Actually, I met Geddy on his book, on his My Favorite Headache tour, the signing tour that he did, the little promotional tour before that. But I got to meet him again, and then Alex for the first time. And then after that, I mean, I met him again quite a few times after that. But as I walked up to them, I kind of made a joke. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm the guy that kind of came up with that petition. And Alex was like, oh, you're the one. He was like, you're the one that's making us play all these old songs and stuff like that in typical Alex humor, you know? So he got a good kick out of it. So it was kind of cool to kind of get like a little notice by them, and you know, that's my little claim to fame to them. So anyway, so Skip did that book, and he was researching for probably a decade about all the tour dates and everything. So yeah. Donato, do we have you back?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
All right,
perfect. Good.
All right,
So go ahead, brother.
So I had an older brother who was into rock music, and fortunately, he took me to see them 82 Power Windows. And
85.
85, sorry.
Yeah.
Don't remember much of the concert, but I do remember after that just staring at that concert program. I still have it. Yeah, man. I've been a fan ever since.
And that Favorite Trails show,
Yeah.
you caught the dryer from the Getty's. You caught the
dryer
shirt
shirt.
from the. You caught the shirt from the dryer.
Oh,
Yeah,
that-
and I just came back from Ibiza, and I had an infected henna tattoo on my leg. So I was
Yeah,
like
his-
limping. I was not going to miss the show. I was not going to miss meet and greet. So yeah,
I remember you dove for that shirt and you almost broke your leg.
Yeah.
But that was cool though.
Yeah.
Ralph, how about you, brother?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't recall. I think the first time I ever heard Rush was Closer to the Heart on the radio. And I also remember a very early memory of Rush for me was my parents rented a hotel on the beach and we were staying there and they had this thing back then that nobody had called HBO, in hotels. And back then, in between movies, to make up time, to fill up time, they would put music videos. And I do recall seeing a Farewell to Kings music video and Xanadu. And
Yeah.
and I just became fanatical. And yeah, I bought the All the World's a Stage. I actually bought, because I used to cut lawns, and and with the lawn money, I'd go buy one record. And the radio played Working Man. I never heard Working Man before. And I was like, oh my God, I got to get the first Rush album, And that was really my first Rush album. But I remember having the live album. But then when I discovered 2112, game over. I became fanatical. And I was a big fan of Rush in the 70s, the later 70s. I didn't get to see Rush till the Moving Pictures tour. And I've told the story before, but it needs to be repeated because it's a unique experience. A full-blown riot blew out at the Rush show before they opened the gates, because they weren't opening the gates because Neil Peart was late. He was in the Bahamas trying to get a flight, and people were getting restless and beating up on cops, and they brought out tear gas. And I almost got sampled if it wasn't for my friend Claude, who pulled me out, because believe me, people were running over me, and I breathed in that tear gas.
Oh man.
And it was like breathing fire. Anyway, things finally calmed down. Neil Peart arrived. They let us in. And who was the opening act at that show? Riot. Fire Down Under tour. And I just recently spoke on Facebook with Sandy Slavin, the drummer of Riot. And I told him about that show, and he says, boy, I remember that. Like his manager ran in going, there's a riot outside, stay in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my first Rush show. Then I saw the Exit Stage Left tour. I won tickets. I saw that. Then I saw the Signals tour. 2 days ago? It's been 43 years. 2 days ago, I saw the Signals tour. And
Was that in Hollywood?
Hollywood Sportatorium, same place
Yeah.
that the riot broke out.
Yeah.
Same exact place. Saw Signals, and then I liked Grace Under Pressure, but I didn't go to that show. I don't know why. And then I just totally dropped out because I heard Power Windows. I didn't like it. I don't like Hold Your Fire. I'm one of those Rush fans that just likes the old stuff and the later stuff. I loved Counterparts, and I even like Test for Echoes. Not very loved. I don't think that's a bad album. And I like the Ladder, but my favorite would be Clockwork Angels of the later stuff. And that's it. That's what I think of Rush.
How about you, Martin? Your story.
Well, seeing them live is pretty uneventful. I've either seen them 4 times or 3 times, and I can't even remember. And I don't even remember when, but it was roughly between mid 90s to I don't know, 2010, somewhere in there. And I distinctly remember 2 of them being indoors and definitely seeing them outdoors at the Molson Amphitheater, but I couldn't tell you when.
Yeah.
But I grew up in a small town. Although, I went to 4 different universities, and I've been in Toronto since 1990, but just was never in the right towns to see them. I mean, my concert going experience is pretty hodgepodge all the way up until literally the mid 90s when we started our magazine, and then I was seeing lots and lots of shows, right? Now, I did get the debut as a new release, so I would have been 11 and already into BTO and Nazareth and a little bit of Black Sabbath, a little bit of Led Zeppelin. So we knew about that album. That album comes out. It looks heavy. Buy it. It's a good, heavy album, heavy for Canada. So I do remember getting that as a new release, and then everything after that as a new release. I think one of my main memories is hearing 2112 in full on Spokane Creme FM. Hearing the whole album and, being there ready to record it kind of thing. So been there since the beginning, but live, not so much.
I know you're kind of like not really a big concert goer, right?
No. And, I have no interest at all in seeing this new thing. I'd rather watch it on YouTube the next day. We'll watch it on YouTube. It'll have terrible sound, but it'll be better sound than at the concert. That's how concerts are. Yeah, they've had 60 years to figure out how to make a concert sound good. They haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Plus, if you don't go see Rush now, you get to save your kidney because in order to get tickets that show, you got to sell your kidney to the.
I didn't even think about that. I thought if someone gave me a free ticket, I'd go with them, and that's literally the extent of my thought process. It took me about 10 seconds.
Right.
My neighbor actually that lives 2 houses down from me. We became great friends since I moved down here. I've been down in Florida about 2.5 years now. I used to live in New Jersey, but we've been going to a lot of concerts together. He actually bought me tickets for one of the Tampa shows down here. Because I get him, he's just like that. Don't worry about it. It's a gift, Because I think I give him a lot of free tickets to a lot of shows and stuff. I got contacts down here where I get like free shit. So anyway, he was like, but I mean, I don't want to. I want to pay the guy. It's a lot of money. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, going back to you, Martin. I know you've done a lot of books on Rush. I just want to show off a few. I got this one here. I got a bunch of your books, man, but they're in a box in storage. And I can't find them. But this is one of the many ones. Rush in the '80s. I have the '70s one. I have the '90s one. I have the Contents Under Pressure, which I think was your first Rush book.
Ones I ever did. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Contents Under Pressure. I got the album by album one. Yeah. That's a great one. I mean, besides Rush, you've done so many books on other bands. I got one of your Iron Maiden ones right here.
Cool.
I think your latest one is Kiss, right?
Kiss 76. Actually, semi-handy here. This is what she looks like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So
MartinPopoff.com. I mean, if you want to see where all the books and order any of them, it's got a lot of, dude, he runs from Kiss to, I have your Black Sabbath one too, Doom Let Loose.
Yeah.
That's one of the very
early too. Yeah.
Yeah,
that one's my Bible, man.
I love that book. And funny enough, the cover of that book is them playing a show in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. It was a college or a school or something like that. And I literally lived like 2 towns over from Scotch Plains, where I lived in New Jersey. So
picture of them walking.
What's that?
You're saying that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I always thought that was in England.
Nah, it's in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Scotch Plains, New Jersey. So that was kind of cool. I remember when I first saw that, I was like, that's cool. It's like I wish I was old enough to see that, But
Martin, when you were on my show, I asked you, I said, well, when was the first time you heard Kiss? And you're like, oh, the first album. So was it the same thing with Rush, since it was the same year?
Exactly. And felt kind of the same about them, that they were, both new bands and a somewhat of an improvement over the things we knew. I can't remember how many Sabbath albums I actually knew properly by that point. And Zeppelin, I guess would have known the Zeppelin albums, but I remember I think maybe my first hard rock album as a new release would have been the first BTO. And then before that, it was things like, Three Dog Night Live and Steppenwolf Gold and Creedence Clearwater, Mardi Gras and stuff like that. So BTO, I remember being the first new release, but yeah, they seemed like very similar bands. Obviously 74, both new releases, both about as heavy as each other, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, Andy, man, how about you, man?
Yeah, my first show, I got a free ticket to my first show. It was in '96. It was a Test for Echoes tour. I grew up in Corpus Christi, so there weren't that many concerts that came down here. So we would have to travel to San Antonio or to Houston. Well, I was at a friend's house that afternoon, and this guy, I didn't know who he was. He said that he had 2 Rush tickets. He just needed a ride to San Antonio. That was like 3 hours away. I said, I'll take you. So we went. We got there a little late. We got there right when 2112 started. And there was 2 sets. So we got there for the end of the first set and then the second set. And then he hounded me forever to pay for my ticket. And I understand it was $50, but the dude, I drove him almost 6 hours this way and that way. And I didn't charge him for gas money or nothing. I just thought the ticket was a part of the ride, but guess it wasn't. He hounded me for a long time.
The gall of that guy.
I know. I mean, come on, dude. That was a far drive, and I didn't even know him. I met him that day. And I gave him a free ride.
Yeah.
What was the first time you ever heard them?
Oh, me, it was on the radio when I heard Closer to the Heart. We had this rock and roll station, Hard Rock. It's still out there in Corpus Christi called C101. And they played Rush all the time. And Rush was a big band down there in the Texas area ever since the beginning, kind of like Triumph. Rush was big in Texas as well. So they would play them on the radio quite a bit. So I heard them when I was like in junior high. I'm not too sure what age, but that's when I started listening to them. And then when I came to Houston, of course, it was easier to go to shows here. So I saw them about 3 more times while I was here. But that first show would always stick out to me.
Yeah. So the first time I ever heard them, but I think I was aware as in 1980, 82, 83. So I was about 10 years old, 11. And I certainly think I remembered hearing like Tom Sawyer or something like that. But there was a radio station in New York called WPLJ 95.5. And they were a bona fide rock station, one of the premier rock stations of the New York area back in the day. And Sunday nights, they used to play album sides. They used to play a whole album side. And as a kid, I didn't really afford albums, but I could get blank tapes, and I would record the album sides, so I had them, and I could play them whenever I wanted. So they played side 1 of Permanent Waves, and I recorded it. And I don't know why, just something about the music for my 10, 11-year-old mind, there was something intriguing about it. I didn't understand the lyrics yet, really, but I just was something that drew me to them. And I constantly played that cassette. And then I went out and I saved up enough money to buy the first album I bought by them was Exit Stage Left. Because I figured back then, live albums were kind of like greatest hits albums. You get a little bit of everything on them. So I bought that. That was my first one. Then I went back and I bought Moving Pictures then. And at the time, Signals had already been the newest album out. So I went and got that one. So that was kind of I think that was like the first 3 that I got. And then every week or every 2 weeks, I'd save up enough money. I'd ask my brother, can he drive me to the mall so I can go buy another Rush? I mean, they just kind of just took over for me. Like they were I had to have everything, and stuff. And I would go and buy a new cassette. It was so exciting to get like something new I never heard before, And then when I heard 2112 and I looked at the lyrics and I read the story and everything, that just blew my mind like completely wide open. I was like, I never heard like a concept album like that. And, I never knew about I didn't know what was prog rock or what was, I didn't know any of the genres, or I just knew it was good, so that was like 83. So I didn't get to see them until the Presto tour, actually, which was 1990. So I begged my brother to take me to the Hold Your Fire tour. And my brother didn't have any Rush albums in color. I mean, he wasn't really that big of a fan, I guess, but he liked them when they came on the radio, but not enough. He was a big Zeppelin head. Zeppelin, The Doors, that was his things growing up. He was older than me, so I grew up on his record collection. But Rush was kind of like my own discovery, And but I begged him to take me to Hold Your Fire tour. He never got tickets for it. I wasn't driving yet, but once I got my license, I was like, I'm buying tickets. I bought tickets to the first 2 shows. I went to Meadowlands, New Jersey. It was April 20th of 1990, and 2 days later, I went to Nassau Coliseum. I had a big '79 Cadillac, yellow, Coupe de Ville. A bunch of friends piled up in there, and we drove to Long Island, New York, man. And, it was quite a trip. It was fun. When you're young like that, you don't care how far you drive. It's, it's exciting to get to the place. So that was my first time seeing them and my first time hearing them. So that's my story. So, all right. So to the topic at hand. So we're going to rank all the third songs off of each Studio Rush album. And before I do that, I'm actually going to have myself a Rush beer right here.
Hey, how about that?
Look at that, huh?
Nice.
All right. So we're gonna go by threes. We're gonna do 3 at a time. We're gonna start with Martin actually. Then we're gonna Ralph, Donato, Dave, Andy, and then myself. So Martin, you could kick it off. Your first 3.
Okay, so number 19, I've got Open Secrets from Hold Your Fire. It's got kind of the silly 80s bass, the police, police / world music drums on it. You get the halftime bit, you got the chimey guitar in here, the mid-tempo 80s pop. It's all the things I don't like about Hold Your Fire are all over this song. It's just kind of an anonymous track. It's not a very famous one on the album. Number 18, I'm going with Take a Friend from Rush, 1974. Kind of southern rocking, it's kind of a barroom song, just kind of a dopey, funky. Reminds me of the reason I don't like Little Dreamer or what was the other one on there? Anyways, it feels like the times when you get through the first couple of Van Halen album songs that sound like they're really, really old. And this sounds like an old song. It's not particularly modern or interesting. Lyrics are kind of silly. Number 17, I've got Half the World from Test for Echo. Smeary. It's got the whole acoustic guitar mixed in with the electric thing. I find that the chords kind of despondent feeling. The lyrics are kind of trite and almost too little haiku-ish like. It's one that people generally ridicule. So there you go, 19, 18, and 17.
All right, interesting, man. All right, Ralph.
I gotta say, when I disagree with Martin and he gives his explanation, I agree with his explanation, even if I disagree. I love Little Dreamer, but the way he describes it, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, we never liked that. What's the other one called? Is it
Feel Your Love Tonight
on there? Yeah, those two.
Oh,
when we heard that album as a new release, we picked those two out and said those sound like old Canadian barroom rock and roll. They're not good songs on this album.
That's wild.
Yeah.
All right. Believe it or not, is it Open Secret or Open Season? I thought it was
Open Secrets.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not. Believe it or not, that's not my least favorite, and and that's my least favorite Rush album. But I got to go with 19, Roll the Bones. I don't like it. I don't like the rap. Too out there for me, This was like, what came first? Roll the Bones or Presto? Which one was first?
Presto was first.
Okay, Roll the Bones is where it ended with me. I started to like Rush after Roll the Bones.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't like the song. Then at 18, not a bad album, but I'm going with Ghost Rider. I didn't really like that song, and 17 is Open Secret. I don't know.
Open Secrets. Okay.
A lot of these songs I don't like, but when we get up there, we'll get the stuff I like.
All right, Donato.
Okay, 19, Take a Friend. 18,
oh wow, it's your 19, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
18,
okay.
Show Don't Tell.
Wow. Okay.
I know. I figured to throw in a little controversy,
I don't have show notes.
Yeah, I don't have that one on mine.
I don't have that one as my third track either.
No, that's not the third track, dude.
Dude, what's
The
third
pass.
one?
The pass.
Pass.
Yes.
Oh no. That's up there.
But you can't rate that song that low anyway. That's a good song.
No way. Open Secrets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what was your first one then?
Take a Friend.
Okay, then your next one is
Open Secrets. And then technically we would go with Chemistry.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Dave.
Yeah, 19 for me is Take a Friend too. It's kind of funny, Martin. You were saying sounds like Southern rock. When I listened to that song again, the first thing I thought of is this sounds like Getty singing a Leonard Skinner song. Major chord guitar crap. I'm like, oh my god, this is.
Yeah.
So that's 19. 18 for me. I kept going flipping these two back and forth. It's Open Secrets for all the same reasons you guys say. Just more of the mid 80s synthy, crappy, no guitar songs and that's not even a really good one. So that one would be 18, and 17 for me is Ghost Rider off an album that I don't know how you felt, but I wanted to love that record, and waiting 5 years and it comes out and there's no guitar solos and the production was terrible. And I mean, it was nice to have a Rush album, but a lot of those songs were just, I don't know. Even listening back now, I was going through some of the songs. I'm like, wow, but Ghost Rider, it's a good lyric. It's just a crappy musically, I think, to me. So that would be 17 for me.
All right. Andy.
All right. Well, I'm going through my list. You're gonna easily find out what my favorite era of Rush is. Easily. Number 17. We're gonna start off with Chemistry off of Signals. That keyboard stuff. I just couldn't get into it. Number 16. Half the World from Test for Echoes.
You mean 18?
18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Half the World for Test for Echoes. And number 17 off of Counterparts, I'm going to go with Cut to the Chase.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
I love that song. All right, man. My 19 is going to be Roll the Bones as well. I think Donato knows that when, I would hold my piss long enough, until they got to that song. Then I would go to the bathroom whenever they, I mean, musically, it's funky or whatever, but it's not even the rap thing that gets me. It just, I don't know, just the song never really grabbed me at all. I was just never really that much into that. And they, they released it as a single. They made a video for it. And they always played that song. It was like one of their favorites to play live, and I guess that separates the fan from an artist. It's always kind of a different perspective. So, but anyway, that's my 19. My 18, I'm going to go with Open Secrets from Hold Your Fire. Yeah, I just Hold Your Fire it's pretty low on my favorite Rush album list. I mean, it's I appreciate them for trying different things, but they really veered way into synthland, during the mid to late 80s. So, I mean, just Alex's guitar got lost. It was just too thin, and I wanted him to rock again, and it took quite a few albums for him to get back there. Number 17 actually is going to be Working Them Angels. It's going to be my 17. I don't mind the song, but I don't know. Just what was that from Snakes and Arrows, right? Yeah, like I liked the album when it came out, but I think it's kind of like not aged that well with me. So I'm putting that one at number 17. So we're gonna go 16, 15, and 14. Martin.
Okay.
Quick question.
Yes.
On Hemispheres, what do you consider the third track?
This the trees.
The tree.
Okay, cool. I just wanted
Yeah. Okay, Martin.
Okay, 16, I'll go with Roll the Bones from Roll the Bones. I like the intro to it. The rap thing does bother me, but what bothers me even more is the crappy production of this album and the vigorous acoustic strumming guitar from Alex, the so sincere, why are we here and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just got a lot of annoying things about that song. 15, I'm going with Manhattan Project from Power Windows. Not a terrible song. But we definitely have the braying synths that don't date too well. I don't think the music particularly matches the nuclear lyric here, and the verse is just is kind of like a sleepy Sunday afternoon kind of depressing, brown verse sort of structure they've got on there. Braying synths. Andy Summers kind of guitar in here. What I do like is the orchestration later on in it. That's pretty cool. And it's got that driving the up-tempo chorus to it. But 14, I'm going with The Pass. I know this song is sacred. We're supposed to love this song, and obviously lyrically it's pretty good, but I hate bass chords anywhere. I never read bass chords. It's got the Rush playing in a Matchbox production on here, probably the worst production they even had, even though ostensibly we're getting rid of the keyboards, but there's just no bass to it. The arpeggiated guitar chorus kind of good. And that turn around, walk the razor's edge. That part's kind of cool. So it's got some okay parts to it, but the verse, there's a lot to not like on it, and I'm not feeling confident in Rush at this point because I just think they're blowing it with kind of the direction and the production.
All right. Good valid points there, Ralph.
All right, at number 16, and again, these are songs I just don't like. Manhattan Project. There's nothing to like about that. That's when they really lost me with Power Windows. I was like, oh, screw this. Now, 15, here's Martin saying, well, I know it's very loved. Now, man, I don't like this song at all, Martin, The Past. I know it's loved. A lot of people love The Past. I don't get it. And you know what? I actually listened again today going, what am I missing about this song? Well, Martin just verified. I ain't missing nothing. At number 14, this pains me because I like this album and there's albums I don't like that's above this. And it's my least favorite song on the album. And these are the songs I'm starting to like, though, is the title track to Clockwork Angel. Clockwork Angels, to me, is my favorite Rush album since Grapes Under Pressure. So I love that album. But actually, Clockwork Angel's always been my least favorite off the album. I love the rest of the album more. But I don't think Clockwork Angel's a bad song. I just think, it's the worst song on a really good album. So that's my next three.
Okay.
All right. Donato.
All right. Okay. What number is this one again? Sorry.
16.
All right, so 16, 15, 14. All right, 16, Clockwork Angels. Did not like that kind of stuff. I'll explain as we get closer to the other stuff. But anyway, next one is Working Them Angels, Snakes and Arrows, and Half the World from Test for Echo.
Yeah.
All right. Dave.
16, The Pass, for all the same reasons. You talk about bathroom songs, Al. That's a bathroom live song, right? As soon as they
not for me, but we'll get to that. But yeah,
that one. And for a couple of tours, they were playing Bravado after it too. And I'm like, oh my God, this is really a 1-2 here. Get Bathroom Minnesota on that break.
Yeah.
So that's 16. 15, Red Sector A. That's a song I always couldn't stand, and just listening to it again recently, nothing's really changed. It's like one of the bleakest, downest, depressing songs they ever recorded. It's I don't know. I never really and they played the shit out of that one live too, so go figure. So that's 15 and 14, Clockwork Angels, which I love the album, but that song sounds like about 5 different songs that they just kind of smashed together. I mean, once a part gets going, a minute later, there's a complete different part, and then a minute later the tempo's twice as fast, and then
Yeah.
it stops, and then they go into this other part, and then Daddy's singing like this at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So that's probably my least favorite song on that record. So that would be 14.
All right, man. Andy.
All right, yeah. Number 16. I'm gonna go with the debut album, Take a Friend. The same reason why y'all have mentioned was, the lyrics are a little juvenile on that. I think they're a little juvenile, but the playing was okay. It wasn't bad for a debut album. Number 15, Manhattan Project off of Power Windows. Now I'm one that does like Power Windows, but Manhattan Project's just okay. And number 14, I'm gonna agree with Dave here. Red Sector A off of Grace Under Pressure.
All right.
Uh,
All right, man. Well, mine 16. I'm gonna go with Clockwork Angels as well. The problem I have with the last couple of Rush albums is the production, man. They just layered too much in it's just the layering of like instruments, and it just congested the production of the album. Like when you put on an album like A Farewell to Kings, listen on headphones, you can hear the space between the instruments, the air, the where it sits in the mix. It's just like once you get to like Test for Echo on, it's just a layer upon layer. It's like, yeah, we have 72 tracks in the studio. Let's use all of them. You know what I mean? It's like, let's use 50 tracks for the drums alone. I mean, it's like you don't really need that. You don't, just because you have it doesn't mean you need it. But like it's a thing with a lot of modern produced albums. It's just too much layering, and just keep it simple. I think don't put so much into it. You don't have to have 100 guitar tracks on top of each other. That's kind of the problem I have with Clockwork Angels. And Dave, you're right too. It's like it's like they smashed like 3-4 songs into like one song. Tempo wise, it's all over the place. So,
Only
you're correct.
Only the Beatles could pull that off.
not true.
The next one I'm going to go with Half the World off of Test for Echo. I do like the song. It's not, lyrically it's spot on. I mean, it's always been kind of that way in the world, and it's pretty relevant lyrically, and it's the more things change, the more they stay the same, and it's all that kind of stuff. But it's just kind of like it seems like that's the poppy song on the album that they were trying to go for the hit, trying to be released as a single, and that. But it's not about. I mean, I like the song, but it sits low on my listen in the midst of like all the rest of the songs on here. And then my number 14 is gonna be Manhattan Project. Now, when I was young, like I was using Rush songs to like kind of learn stuff in school and kind of write about it. But that was kind of the whole atomic bomb thing. It was kind of I kind of learned stuff through them, and like Iron Maiden, and like all this literary stuff was kind of cool to learn from these bands. But I mean, and I'm not one that hates Power Windows either. Between the more synthy stuff, like I like that album, but Alex is like, where are you going, man? It's like just getting too buried. So that sits up my number 14. All right, man. So we're gonna go 13, 12, and 11. Martin.
Okay, so 13, I'm going to go with Working Them Angels. I find that title a little smarty pants, and then the whole, it's kind of powerful but cheery at the same time. This one, you got the tribal drums in there, which give me a headache after a while. They do too much tom-toms, Neil does, and too much acoustic guitar for no reason. But it is kind of heavy. It's kind of got an interesting construction to it as well, especially as you go into the chorus. So it moves around. They find a new way to be progressive with shorter songs. It's kind of cool. Clockwork Angels next at number 12. Wall of Sound. I love the way you described that it does feel congested. This is just a big wall of sound. 7:31. It's too long. And again, too many parts. You're right. All put together. It's got that weird swampy part for no reason later. And the singing in a fishbowl, that's like a big negative for me. It really sags at that point. And I've said this recently. I found that when they figured out, when Alex tries to be heavy later on in life, it's a little bit like Brian May losing the plot and forgetting how to be heavy kind of thing. You know, when you get into the Hammer to Falls and these songs that are more chordal than really really super smart, I feel like Alex goes there too, where it's like blues scales, and it sounds kind of old and a little bit old fashioned. And I noticed lately I've been feeling that about that album. Number 11, I'm going with Lakeside Park from Caress of Steel. Little surprising to me, but it actually is my least favorite song on the album. I think I'm going bald. I totally like, and everything else I like on this album. But Lakeside Park feels a little bit like Take a Friend. Like it's a little bit of a dopey riff. And then the chorus is just like old psych. Almost, you know, Lakeside, you know, that whole thing. It feels old fashioned to me, you know, especially now that they've got 2 albums under their belt with Neil. That one feels like an old song, you know, a Fly By Night / Rush song kind of thing. So there you go, 13, 12, 11.
All right, Ralph.
All right, my 13, Half the World. I don't care for it. We're still in the realm of songs I don't like.
Sorry.
At 12, Working Them Angels. And at 11, this one I kind of like because, honestly, I was raised with rednecks. Seriously. With Leonard Skinner, Molly Hatchet, Allman Brothers, Blackfoot. So I like Take a Friend, you know? So I was like, okay, now we're getting into songs I like. So everything else I mentioned now, I actually like. But yeah, now we're getting into the realm. But that is my 13, Half the World, Working Them Angels at 12, and 11, Take a Friend.
All right, Donato.
All right. Roll the Bones.
I'm
Twilight
surprised that wasn't lower on the list.
I know. I figured maybe we get a rise out of somebody, you know.
Knowing you.
Twilight Zone, Roll the Bones. Did I say Cut to the Chase before?
No.
No. Okay, so it's Cut to the Chase, Roll the Bones, Twilight Zone.
Nice.
Okay. Dave.
13, Twilight Zone for me. It's you know, from the 2112 album, it's probably my least favorite. In the context of song 3s here, that's about where it should be. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a weird tune. You know, they were smoking a lot of pot back when they made that record, so I could kind of see it. 12 is Chemistry from an album that I really was so disappointed with when it came out, Signals. I remember, you know, of course, already being a fan and waiting for that record to come out. And the first song you heard was New World Man. And I said, what is this? This is the Police. This isn't Rush. So that whole album was kind of like my least favorite Rush album for a long time. So, but Chemistry is a pretty good song. There's, except for the Police part where the eye to eye and the one to one or whatever. But it's got some heavy guitars. It's all right. 11, Working Them Angels. I think it's a great song, you know, from a really good record. I don't know. Another one of Neil's traveling kind of lyrics. It's a good song. Number 11.
I think that's where Traveling Music kind of came out of, right? That book by him.
Yeah.
Kind of him. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a good song, but you know, it was a little lower on my list. Anyway, Andy.
Yeah, my 13, I'm going to go with Open Secrets off of Hold Your Fire. It's a little bit higher than most of y'all. Number 12, Ghost Rider off of Vapor Trails. I think that's a really good tune. And number 11, Working Them Angels off of Snakes and Arrows.
All right. My number 13, I'm going with Ghost Rider from Vapor Trails. I do like that song, and after the whole Neil's Tragedies thing, and the lyrics were, you know, you can kind of, you know, and reading his book and everything and stuff, you can kind of feel the pain that guy went through, and coming back from that, you know, it was a lot of lesser people probably, you know, wouldn't have came back from that, but certainly his wife didn't. You know, she succumbed to the loss of their daughter. So, you know, number 12 is going to be Take a Friend from the debut. I like that song too. I love that debut album. I really do. You know, once in a while I just throw that on, and like Alex is just all over that, man. It's just I love his playing on there. It's so raw and just raucous, and It's it's awesome. I mean, Take a Friend's probably one of the weaker. It's one of the weaker songs on the album, but hence it kind of sits at like number 12 on my list here. Number 11. Now we're getting into songs I really really love, and I've always loved Cut to the Chase. You know, I love that album. When that album came out, and I first heard "Stick It Out" on the radio, I was like jumping for joy. I was like, "Wow, Alex is back, and he's heavy, and he's got some bite back in his guitar." And it was really like the anticipation after hearing that song for the album. I was like, you know, I was like really anticipating. And "Cut to the Chase" is one of my favorite songs on the album. That Alex solo is incredible. Like one of the most fluid solos he's ever done. It almost reminds me of Eric Johnson a bit, like kind of his playing style, you know. And I think around that time they were actually touring together as well. So because I know Eric Johnson opened for Rush. I didn't know if it was on the Roll the Bones tour, may have been. So anyway, so Ghost Rider, Take a Friend, and Cut to the Chase from the Counterparts album. I love Counterparts. Counterparts is probably my favorite latter day Rush album. I think the production is great on there. It still breathes a bit. They are layering on there, but the bottom end is fat, and it's Getty's bass is growling on there, and Alex is back, you know, with playing like, you know, humbucker guitars again, Les Pauls, things like that. So that's my number 11. Anyway, so we're gonna go 10, 9, and 8, Martin.
Okay, 10, I'm going to go with Twilight Zone from 2112. This is a cross between a shuffle, a gallop, and a waltz. It's in like 3/4 time for the verse. It's ridiculous. And then it goes into the 4/4, even more depressing part. So it's got two very depressing parts to it. Sounds very old as well. Again, this one sounds like something like a transitionary you know, Rush to Fly By Night to Caress of Steel sort of song. I think it's the least creative song on the album, maybe Tears, I don't know. But yeah, I hate shuffles, and this is a shuffle and a little gallop and a little waltz, and I think it's dumb. Cut to the Chase, I have at number 9. I quite like this one. I do like this album. I love the big wall of sound guitars on the chorus. That's pretty cool. And like you say, Al, you know, we definitely got some bottom end there. Number 8, I've got Ghost Rider. I quite like the Vapor Trails album, and this is one of my favorite ones on here, despite some bass chords. But I think it's mellow. It's got a really connecting, emotional energy with what Neil went through. And I like the whole Ghost Rider concept. I think that's the strongest concept that relates to what he went through here. So it's chimey, very textured, and kind of got a good groove to it as well. So there you go, 10, 9, and 8.
Hey Martin, can I just ask you a question real quick? So what do you prefer? Do you prefer the original mix of Vapor Trails or the remix?
I prefer the remix. It always did have, there's a bunch of albums like that seem to have a little bit errant distortion to them, right? I mean, people say that about Death Magnetic. Oh, what are some other ones? I should do a whole podcast episode on this, where there's just like extra. Oh yeah, AC/DC, Rock or Bust. That feels like that to me as well. It's just got this extra distortion that's not supposed to be there, kind of thing. But it is a challenging album, the way they put it together. I always call it their King Crimson album. It reminds me of Discipline. You know, Discipline, okay. More that one than Beat or 3 of a Perfect Pair. But yeah, it strikes me as a very interesting, creative album. But yeah, I think they did clean it up a little. But it's almost like bootleg albums. Once you start listening to them, you forget about the sound, kind of thing, and it's hard to A/B. I never really complained about, it wasn't a shockingly badly produced album when it first came out. It wasn't the first thing that came to mind.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Ralph.
All right, at number 10, I'm gonna go with Cut to the Chase. I like that song. I like that album. That's the album that sucked me back to Rush. At number 9, Red Sector A. I love Grace Under Pressure. When Grace Under Pressure was new, like none of my friends liked it. That's why I didn't go see the Grace Under Pressure tour, because none of my friends wanted to go, and I didn't have a car at the time. But I love that album, and the reason why all my friends didn't like Grace Under Pressure, because they even went more into the keyboardy thing than Signals. So, but I
Gotcha.
still hung on. And then Power Windows came in. I was like, okay, I can't defend this no more. But at least I was there. You know, they first really dabbled into it.
Yeah.
And number 8, I will say, I watched Martin's least favorite songs on every Rush album, and he picked Chemistry off of Signal. I love that freaking song. But you see everything, the way he described it on that episode, that made sense, you know? But I still liked it, you know? And that's it, right? That's my 10, 9, and 8.
All right, man. All right, Donato.
Okay. Lakeside Park, number 10. I'll explain why it's up there for me. I grew up in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, surrounded by buildings. For some reason, this made me go, oh, that's what you do. When you're with your friends, you go to the lake and you hang out and everything's nice. So I kind of liked it, you know?
Yeah. You were in a sea of buildings.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I screwed up somewhere. It messed me up. All right. Is Closer to the Heart considered a third track?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So then Closer to the Heart. Now, I read somewhere that the lyrics were co-written by Peter Talbot. Maybe you can help us with that, Martin. Is it also true that the original title was Closer to the Fart?
I don't think so. I don't remember anything about this whole.
Sure, it wasn't the label. I didn't like it. Okay, and then
It would rank higher for me if it was.
okay, now let's get drum nerdy. My next one is YYZ, and I'll explain why it's a low one. Even though, comes with this, but live it comes with the solo. But as a song itself, all right, you know, I get it. They're doing, you know, the thing. So it's two different entities for me. You know, it's the live version is one thing, the recorded version.
All right. Valid. All right, man. Dave.
Number 10 for me is Roll the Bones.
You're wrong. Oh, you're wrong, by the way, Donato. Even though you're a drummer, you're wrong. So anyway, Dave.
Number 10, Roll the Bones. I know song divides a lot of Rush fans. It's okay. It doesn't bother me. I don't mind hearing them play it live. It's always got a great production behind it. It's always such a funny video or something. So the song itself, you know, it's number 10 in this list. It's okay. It's good. Number 9, Cut to the Chase. Great song off a great album, like you guys are saying. That, you know, that I love that record, Counterparts.
Yeah, me too.
And it's funny, when they toured that record, I was going to go see them here in Jersey. And 2 days before the show, I was playing in the backyard with a dog, and I tripped and fell and broke my collarbone. So there was no Rush Counterparts tour show for me. So kind of sucks. But that's a great record, and that's a great song with a killer Alex solo. Number 8, Between, Behind. One of the early ones that they played a lot back in the early days. It's and just even listening back to it now, from that first album to the second album, like a complete 180 that band did just by having Neil. I mean, lyrically, playing, they sound like a completely different band. And so that one's in at number 8, Between, Behind.
All right. Andy.
Yeah, number 10, I'm going to go with MCG Lee here. I'm going to go with Roll the Bones. I really loved that album a lot when it came out. It came out like in 91, and I think I was a sophomore at the time. So I really gravitated towards the album. So I put that at number 10. I really like that song. Number 9, I'm going with the title track of Clockwork Angels. And number 9. And number 8 off of Moving Pictures, YYZ.
All right. All right, man. We're getting into the cream now. So my number 10, I'm going with the Twilight Zone off of 2112. I like weird Rush songs. I love when you listen to it on headphones, you can hear a whispering Getty track behind his singing. Like it's kind of like gives it kind of this eerie feeling to it. which is kind of cool. I thought that was a kind of a cool production value, you know, kind of like would creep you out as a kid if you listen to it, like, you know, on headphones and stuff. So, if you listen very closely to that song, there is a little mastering error to that song. It seems like when Geddy goes into the Truth and Logic Lost thing, if you're listening to it on headphones in the right channel of your, you know, headphone, you can kind of hear him. You hear him kind of burst a lyric, but like it gets kind of. It's almost like they forgot to erase something. It was like it was a vocal track that they previously had in there. They forgot to erase it. Like I remember noticing that, and like I can't unhear it now. You know, I hope I didn't open a can of worms for you guys. But if you guys ever listen to that on headphones, you'll catch it. You know, if you listen closely. Anyway, I do like that song though. Number 9, Lakeside Park. You know, I grew up surprisingly in New Jersey when my dad built a house when I was 12 years old, and we moved across town, and we lived right beside a lake. So it was kind of cool. Like, so that song kind of spoke to me. You know, I mean, it was there was a lot of parks around my house and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool. Like lyrically, I always loved that song, and when I listen to it now, it evokes nostalgic like memories for me. So it's definitely my top 10. It's my number 9. Number 8 is Chemistry. So that kind of sits right in my sweet spot when I was discovering Rush and just really getting into it timeline wise and everything. So, you know, 83 was really kind of the first time like I heard that first side of Permanent Waves when I was like about 11 years old. So at the time Signals was new. And so I do like the Signals album. So Timeline for me, because I know a lot of the old fans, like that was a shock to them coming from Moving Pictures into the Signals. That was always kind of the dividing line album. I remember always hearing about that. They lost me with Signals. You know, it's not heavy enough and all that stuff. But I mean, I liked it. I mean, I liked a lot of new wave stuff at the time too. And I certainly loved the Police when I was young. So that kind of was cool with me. So yeah, that's my number 8. So Twilight Zone, Lakeside Park, and Chemistry. So now we're gonna go 765, Martin.
Okay, I'm going to go with Chemistry. It is, you know, I guess my least favorite on here, but this now is my favorite Rush album. I love the guitar sound on this album. I love the drum sound. I love Neil's drum performance on this one. It meanders around a little bit, but I guess, again, they're finding interesting ways to be proggy even on a short song. It's heavy enough. So, yeah. Pretty cool song. Number 6, I'm going with Rush's Christmas song, Closer to the Heart, with the tubular bells in there and stuff. That's what it always felt like to us. It felt like they were literally trying to write a Christmas song for Christmas. But yeah, it's got very like warm, emotional, you know, wow, you know, that whole part that kicks off, right? It's like one of the magic Rush moments. So it's kind of cool. It's like an up-tempo ballad, or like maybe even a Rush pop song before they ever, you know, later would do lots of pop songs. But this is them maybe doing kind of their first real pop song. And number 5, I'm going with Red Sector A from Grace Under Pressure. I do like this song a lot. Dark, tense beat. Really. Yeah, you know, that percolating hypnotic sort of synth in it. I love what Neil does with the drums against all that sort of straight line stuff going on. But yeah, I think it's a well put together song and a good metaphor for the darkness and coldness of that album. So there you go. Chemistry, Closer to the Heart, and Red Sector A.
Excellent. All right, Ralph.
All right, where are we now? What number?
7, 6, and 5.
Right. At number 7, I'm going with Lakeside Park. I love that song, man. And yeah, I was also raised like around buildings and stuff. And I think the reason that Martin don't like it because he's up there in the great wide open. He takes Lakeside Park for granted.
Yeah, all I can think about is the Cobra geese, you know, the Canadian geese, you know, and all the bird crap around. We had too many parks, too many Lakeside Parks.
Do you live near Lakeside Park, Martin?
No, that would be about an hour and a half away.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's in St. Catharines, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in Toronto. You just go around the Horn and down the highway through the Golden Horseshoe, Hamilton, and all that, and then right at the border. Right, St. Catharines is pretty much at the border with Buffalo
Yeah.
and Erie and all that.
Oh, really? Because I'm going to be going to Niagara Falls and Buffalo in October. I might want to go check that out.
Hey, Al. Question for Al.
Yeah.
With your private lake, did you build yourself a float that you played guitar on?
Yeah, well, it's funny, man. Living by a lake, it's like you take it for granted. You don't go down by it a lot. It's weird, man. I mean, the first year I lived there, yeah, I went down there a lot. I remember during the winter when the lake was frozen, me and my friends go down and drink some beers, and some of them would ice skate. I was never an ice skater. I could never do it, but I would just like kind of walk on the lake and I was like, is this safe? It's like, when you're a kid, you don't think about that shit though. But anyway, all right. Anyway, go ahead, Ralph. I'm sorry.
All right, at number 6, I'm gonna go with Twilight Zone. I friggin' love that song. I love it for every reason Martin gave that he didn't like it. I agree with you. It's so thing. It's weird. It's this and that. But I like that about the damn song. A little whispering. And now, I got to put it on headphones, which is wild. I never caught that before because 2112 to me is my favorite Rush album. And I think I played that the most on my headphones when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I definitely love Twilight Zone. And at number 5, nobody's mentioned this one yet. I love the song, but I'm going with Jacob's Ladder off Permanent Waves. I think that's an amazing song. I just like, 4 more than that song. But Jacob's Ladder is, to me, kind of like a masterpiece, which every other song on here is like a masterpiece. But, I'll never forget when I saw them for the first time on moving pictures and they played that song. And I owned Permanent Waves when it was new. So, so Jacob Ladder, number 5, Twilight Zone 6, and Lakeside Park, number 7.
Nice. Donato.
All right. Like I said, I'm just going to do my next 3, whatever number it is. Okay. And I'll explain why. All right. I'm going with The Pass. Why I love that song so much. I have to reference Subdivisions. Because I think Subdivisions, and maybe we all agree here, we definitely felt those lyrics because maybe we were that weirdo out of the crowd or something like that, but we weren't the cool kids or whatever. I don't know. And the reason why I mentioned that one is because I've been teaching high school English lit for 20 years, and there's always a kid that I have that reminds me of The Past. It's just the lyrics hit as hard as shit. Even him singing "Christ, What Have You Done?" I thought was really interesting from a lyric writing point of view, and I never heard that before. It's pretty interesting. So that's why I love that song. Next up is Manhattan Project, and then Red Sector A. At the time, I was just getting into reading science fiction. I had the buzz from reading, and I got into science fiction, and man, did that stuff work well with what I was reading.
All right. Cool, man. Dave.
Okay, 7. I have Half the World. I know a lot of you guys had it way lower down the list, but one of my favorite songs from Test for Echo, a great record, and that song is just, I love the guitar. It doesn't really have a guitar solo in it. It kind of has like a mandolin type thing or something going on under there, but it's the lyric. I think, Al, you were saying it's relevant today. For sure, it's relevant today. It's just one of those songs that the instant you hear it, that opening riff, it's just, yes, this is a good song. And so that's why for me, it's up there, number 7. Number 6, Closer to the Heart, because I don't know, it's a classic. It's a classic Rush tune. Nice little acoustic guitar thingy, which I think Geddy wrote that acoustic intro, didn't he? Anybody know for sure?
I don't know.
Remember.
For sure.
That opening lick, I believe Geddy wrote that. But anyway, that's number 6. And number 5, The Trees. Just a great song in every which way. Everything about it. The drums, the wood blocks. The lyric is so dopey. It's great. I mean,
Yeah.
what else
Yeah,
can
I
you say
agree.
about it? Just a killer song. So that's
Yeah,
number
excellent.
5, The Trees.
All right, cool. Andy.
Yeah, my number 7. I'm going with Twilight Zone off of 2112. I really like that song. It seems dark and weird and kooky, and I really like the last minute of that track. It comes out of nowhere. It just changes. So
I was a
really
fan of
like
that.
Twilight Zone.
I was a fan of that show as a kid too. So that's why I like that song a lot.
Yeah.
So,
God, I'm fanatical with the Twilight Zone.
yeah, I
Rod
love that.
Serling was a genius.
Yeah.
Number 6, I'm going with the pass at number 6, and number 5 off of Permanent Wave, Jacob's Ladder at number 5. So that is Twilight Zone, the pass, and Jacob's Ladder.
All right. All right, man. So my number 7, I'm going with Red Sector A. After reading Getty's book about the whole, with his parents in the whole Holocaust thing, it's kind of, I knew that was kind of the subject matter was about that, but like after reading his book, it kind of hits a different thing now. Like whenever I hear that song, so I'm sure that's very personal to Getty, even though Neil wrote the lyrics. Getty's always said that he's got to feel the lyrics, that Neil writes to and relate to them for them to go forward with a song. So that's my number 7. Number 6 is a song very personal to me. It's The Pass, and the lyrics are very personal. I did go through a rough time in my life, and where I thought about things that, I'm sure a kid, a teenager, early teen, they think about, once in a while, but I was almost to the point of doing it. So anyway, but the song kind of like, spoke to me and pulled me out of my funk. And I told this story before, but I'm not going to drag the show down with any, with any more about it. But it did speak to me a lot. So that song, that's why it's number 6. That's a top 10 song for me. With even in the context of like Rush songs, it would probably crack my number 10. My number 5 is Closer to the Heart. Classic, in every sense of the word. Rush for doing these epics now, and doing these, for them, they could still write a 3-minute, concise song. They always served the song in a way. I mean, yeah, they had songs where they showed off their chops and everything, but they were always very concerned about like writing a good song too. And I thought this is very, very a great song. So that's my number 5. So Red Sector A, The Pass, Closer to the Heart. Number 4, 3, and 2, Martin.
Okay, well, I'll do all 4 of them. My final 4, I guess, right?
No. We're gonna do 4, 3, and 2.
Okay.
And save 1 for the last round.
Yeah. Okay. The Trees. I'll go with The Trees off of Hemispheres. This is an album to me that I've often called my favorite Rush album. I don't think there's any bad songs on this album. I love The Trees, even though I had to pick it as the worst song on this album, and I got a lot of heck for that in my my worst Rush song from every album Contrarians episode we just did. But yeah, it's a good song. Again, I love that description earlier about how you can hear all the instruments nice and clearly on these albums. They sound like a power trio on a song like The Trees. 3, I will go with YYZ, Moving Pictures, named for the Toronto airport. I think this is another album with no bad songs whatsoever. I had to go with, I picked Red Barchetta as the worst song in the album. I got a lot of heck for that. There are no bad songs. But every time somebody complains, it's like, well, what are you going to pick kind of thing? And then they have to go on, Camera Eye or Witch Hunt or Vital Signs or something, right? So anyways, but it is an instrumental, but I wanted it really high on this list because it's literally considered, I would say it might be considered the greatest instrumental in all of rock. I mean, it's either this or Eruption or what the heck else? Frankenstein by Edgar Winter Group? I don't know. And then I got one more for now, right? So, so Beneath, Between, and Behind. I think this is an absolute classic on Fly By Night. It is one of the cool, forward-thinking, proggy, man, we got this professor in this band. The riff is amazing. The chord changes, the heavy part. It's a heavy song. To me, this, Anthem, and Vitor are the 3 best songs on the album. So, yeah, I think it's an absolute classic. So there you go, 4, 3, and 2.
Yeah, we're really into the cream now, man.
Yeah.
All right, Ralph.
Yeah, I have the same number 4, The Trees. I absolutely love. I love this song for every reason possible. Music. I mean, it's lyrics about oppressed and racist plants. How cool is that? I mean, you can't get cooler than that. Oppressed and racist plants? I'm in. All right, at number 3, Closer to the Heart. Maybe the first Rush song I ever heard in my life. It's a very inspirational song, you know, and I love inspirational songs like Fight the Good Fight. I get that out of Closer to the Heart is, you know, the blacksmith and the artist, you know. As long as you keep your dreams alive. I love that. And at number 2, it's the last song on my list with vocals. Beneath, Between, Behind is one of the heaviest, most badass Rush songs ever.
I think Donato's agreeing.
and I'll never forget. They played it when I saw the movie picture store. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, they're playing Beneath, Between, Behind. It's so tight and technical and crazy, but yet it's short, gets to the point, doesn't wear out its welcome. An amazing song. I would put it at my number 1, but I can't because I like that other song that has no vocals more. But I won't tell you what that is till it's my turn next time.
All right,
man.
So, like I said, my list got screwed up. So my 4 and 3 is going to be Ghost Rider. Again, same thing what Al mentioned. You know, love the dude, knew the story when he went through and whatnot. So I was like, kudos, good for you, man. You put it on paper. All right, my number 2, Beneath, Between, Behind. Right. Neil's just cooking in that song, man. You could hear that I'm the new guy kind of thing, and he's just ripping through it, man. And it's so tight and it's so awesome. There's no epic guitar solo, you know. It's just bang, bang, bang right through. Love it.
Cool. All right, Dave.
Number 4 for me is Manhattan Project. Oddly enough, for somebody who not a big fan of the '80s stuff, I love that song. They always played it live great. It's a great arrangement, the way it's kind of mellow on the verses, and then it kind of picks up steam. Interesting lyric. Short little Alex solo at the end there. I don't know. It's just struck a chord with me for whatever reason. So that's for number 4. Number 3 is Lakeside Park. Nothing to do with a lake for me, just one of those early songs that they played quite a bit back in the early days. And I don't know if you remember this. When we saw them on the final tour,
yeah,
I forget where we were, but you were always, don't tell me the song.
We went
what they played. I don't want to know.
We went to Philly together.
Was it Philly? So
yeah.
When they broke into this song, you turned and looked at me like, oh my God, I can't believe they're playing this song. You remember
I never thought they'd ever play that song, man. Again.
So I love this song. I think it's great. I think it's a great guitar part, cool solo. So this is number 3. Number 2 for me is
Nice.
YYZ number 2 because it can't be number 1 for me on this list, but everything about that song is killer. So there it is. Manhattan Project, Lakeside Park, YYZ, 432.
All right. Andy.
Number 4. I'm gonna go off of Fly By Night. I absolutely love Fly By Night. It's a great album. I love it. Beneath, Between, and Beyond. I'm sorry, and Behind. Is it just me, or does that first few seconds sound like the kids? Like the Kids in the Hall theme song. Is it just me? Because that just jumped out at me during this week. While
I don't know. Ask Martin. He's Canadian.
Yeah, I can't picture it. I'll have to compare.
Number 3, I'm going to go with Closer to the Heart because it's a great song, and it was the first song I heard by Rush, and I really think that that's what got me started listening to the band, Closer to the Heart. And number 2, I'm going with The Trees off of Hemispheres. I absolutely love the song The Trees. I love the story behind it. I love the message. It's a great track, The Trees.
All right. My number 4, Beneath, Between, and Behind from Fly By Night. I love this song. I used to play in a 70s hard rock cover band, and I had this idea where we'd play Led Zeppelin's Heartbreaker, and when it goes into that Heartbreaker riff, go into Beneath, Between, and Behind. We never did it though, but it was a good idea. You know, any of you cover bands out there that do 70s stuff, do that, because I think that's a good idea. So anyway, so that's my number 4. My number 3, I'm going with The Trees from Hemispheres. I would, you know, my number 1 Rush album is still Permanent Waves. I mean, to me, that's the perfect album, the first one I ever heard. And but Hemispheres is not far behind it. Like, it could flip between those two, and I love Hemispheres, man. You know, so The Trees, again, the metaphor, you know, with the whole racism thing that Ralph brought up is pretty genius, but, you know, kind of goofy lyric, but hey, it makes sense, you know, in metaphorically, you know, in a way. So and my number 2 is gonna be YYZ, and yeah, that instrumental, I remember when I first heard Moving Pictures, and you know, and I heard it before Hemisphere, so I heard it before La Villa, La Strangiato, and but that YYZ, man, it was just an incredible instrumental. I love it. But I will agree with Donato in the live context when Neil did the drum solo and Exit Stage Left. That's my favorite version of the album. You know, the Exit Stage Left version. You know, so if we're going purely by that, but I mean, we're talking about studio, it still lands at number 2 for me. So that's my Beneath, Between, Behind, The Trees, and YYZ. And now, Andy, number 1, man. We're gonna go around the horn.
All right.
Martin.
Okay, I'm going with Jacob's Ladder from Permanent Waves. Again, an album. I don't think there's any bad songs on this album. I did have to pick a worst when I did that episode, and I think I went with Entre Nous. Yeah, I love this song, how it's proggy and heavy. It's just like typical heavy proggy Rush. It feels like a Hemisphere song, maybe even a Caress of Steel song with how dark it is. It's got that military snare. It's so tight, and the production on this album is so crisp.
Yeah.
Really cool. I love that cool synthy part later on where you get the pick notes from Alex in there, which is it feels like a total redo of the immense, you know, considered the greatest Rush solo of all time, La Villa Strangiato. It's that same sort of structure all over again with everything building nicely. It's beautiful, almost jazzy from Neil in there. You know, and about the weather, it's kind of cool. It's a great concept, and not terribly long, 7:28. The whole album isn't very long, actually. I think it's about 35 minutes. But yeah, an absolute classic and just a good, heavy, sinister, serious sounding Rush song.
Excellent.
You know, it's wild because I mean, and this ain't a bad. I'm not saying this is a bad thing because I like long songs, but Jacob's Ladder feels longer than 7-something minutes, and it is probably my favorite song on Permanent Way. I love that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, my number 1 is YYZ. I'm sorry, YYZ. The reason I say YYZ because I have a very rare copy of Moving Pictures where they forgot to put the ED after the Y. After the Z, there's no ED. It just says YYZ. It's like a it's like a miss.
Kudos.
I got a print of that, but yeah. You know what's funny? YYZ is not even my favorite Rush instrumental. My favorite Rush song, period, is La Villa Strangiato. That's my all-time favorite Rush song. But I love YYZ, and it's such a showstopper. When they play that, the place. So you know, it's an awesome performances when they played that in Rio, and the whole crowd is jumping up and down.
Yeah,
it's insane. But YYZ has such a great feel to it. And then listening to the making of the album, how they talk about, you know, walking through the airport, it's got that section in the song where it mellows out and it's like describing, you know, commuters and all. It's just a genius song. And that beginning, that ding, 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 that's actually the code for the airport, I believe, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
To the music.
yeah.
So that's my favorite of these songs. It's not even my favorite Rush song, but when it comes to the third tracks, that is my favorite.
All right.
Cool.
So,
Donato.
yeah, Jacob's Ladder. That breakdown build up in 13/8. And again, the time signatures, man, they don't sound like them. Unlike the other real proggy stuff that I'm not too crazy about because it just sounds too manufactured. They were able to groove with the different time signatures, and that does it for me, man. The way he builds up the drums in that, and just takes off. It just takes off. It's great. But side note, if you've never seen the movie Jacob's Ladder, I highly recommend it.
Gotcha.
Underrated film.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, for me, it's Jacob's Ladder too. From this group of songs, it wasn't even when you sent me this thing, I put the songs down and I wrote them out in order, and not really much changed from maybe in the bottom half a little bit, but the top 10 were almost exactly how I originally just thought off the top of my head. And Jacob's Ladder, in this group of songs by far, like for all the reasons you guys are saying too, Donato, you're talking about the time signature changes there, where it goes bar 6, bar 7, bar 6, bar 7. And that section, Neil plays a different part every time through there. He never repeats.
Yep.
And that's just genius. I mean, and he does that all the time. Never repeats a fill, plays different beats in different sections of the song. That whole song is just genius. And it's not even my favorite song on Permanent Waves. My favorite song would be probably Natural Science. But Jacob's Ladder, and a killer live song too. So glad they played it on the last
That
tour.
last tour, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's number one.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, my number one is going to be Lakeside Park as my number one track. When I was 19, I worked at a air conditioning company, and I was a runner. I would drop off all the stuff that guys needed, and there were these set of twins. These two guys, they were probably in their late 20s, and we would hang out and stuff like that. And they were big Rush fans, and they introduced me to more Rush. And in fact, one of them, their favorite album was Farewell to Kings. So we would listen to that one a lot. I know that this one's on Caress of Steel, but they would always jam this song. And I remember how different it was from everything else I ever thought of Rush. It just had a great feel to it. It made me feel so comfortable, so alive with memories and friends and stuff like that. So that's why I have it at number one. It's a very special song for me. Lakeside Park, number one.
All right. Yeah, my number one's Jacob's Ladder, man. I mean, for my favorite Rush studio album, it like Dave was saying, man, it's just, Neil doesn't repeat like parts in this song, like, and it's just genius. But I am more of I do lean to Natural Science from the two epics on the album, but Jacob's Ladder is still genius, man. Still great. And when they played it on the last tour, I was like beside myself, man, because I thought I would never hear that song live. I was too young to see them on the Permanent Waves Moving Pictures tour when they played that song when it was newer. But when they the last tour, they were playing epic after epic, and it was great to hear all those great songs. So yeah, and Jacob's Ladder was definitely a standout on that tour. And I saw that tour. I saw 3 shows on that tour. So yeah, me and Dave went to Philly together. Donato and I and my wife, we went to Newark, New Jersey, and then the final one I saw was at Madison Square Garden with another friend of mine, Steve, who I was in a band with. He's also a drummer, and Madison Square Garden was my last show I ever saw them on. So this tour I'm going to see them down here, but. It's just I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's just when the curtain drops and there's not Neil, it's not going to be behind there. It's just I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. But Geddy and Alex, man, they've been friends since they were like in junior high, and it's their right to do what they want. And I'm not here to. I mean, it's not my word. It's not my say to block them. So if they can do what they want, so. Anyway, that's my number one, Jacob's Ladder, and that's the show. And Martin, what do you have coming up, man? I know you got Contrarians. I know you're pretty busy. So what do you
Yeah,
got?
still doing a lot of that stuff. My Aerosmith book got announced, so I can mention that. So I did a book on the first 10 years of Aerosmith, the Columbia years, and that's coming out through Schiffer. And I'm not sure, did my Metallica book get announced? Anyways, I got a Metallica book and seven other books that I can't mention.
Oh my goodness.
4 of a series and a couple other things. But yeah, always slamming in a lot of Contrarian shows. I've been taking time putting my collection into Discogs. Been doing that, so you can check me out there, Martin Popoff. My whole collection's there and a few things for sale. But I got the audio podcast as well, History in 5 Songs. But so yeah, the Kiss 76 is the newest, and we got the Maiden, the Dio, the big massive hardcovers, and the Deep Purple. 640 pages of Deep Purple in that one. So yeah, lots. Not working on much, but lots already long finished and in the pipeline.
Awesome.
Rest, it sounds like.
Yeah. Ralph, man, what do you got coming up, brother?
Tomorrow on Almost Human Live, we're going to do the 50th anniversary of Kiss Destroyer, because Kiss always brings in the numbers. And you know, every day on my channel, there's tons of videos I put up 3 or 4 daily from mostly donations that I'm doing a few donations now. The thing is that I love what I do. You know, I love talking music. You know, it's just a hobby of mine. And when somebody asks me, oh, what do you think of this record? I love doing stuff like that. So check out my channel, Almost Human. Every day I talk about different records that my viewers tell me to review and stuff, and put against other albums and stuff like that, man.
What's the name of the channel?
Huh?
What's the name of the channel?
Almost Human.
Almost Human. Okay.
It's Almost Human, the Barefoot YouTuber.
Yeah, the Barefoot YouTuber.
Yeah, so that's what I got going on, and the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast with Ian, where my girlfriend will be joining us on the next episode.
Oh, fun.
It'll be about
Awesome.
the cult, so it'll be fun.
All right, cool. Donato, I'd ask what you got going on, but what do you got anything going on besides your teaching career?
Well, actually, tomorrow is SAT day, so it's a half a day for me,
Oh,
and the
awesome.
junior's going to be taking the SAT. But yeah, man, you know, just living, being a teacher. Got 6 more years to go, and then you know, that's it.
I just wanted to show this real quick. So, you know, I was talking before that me and Donato met Getty and Alex on the Vapor Trail store. Here's a picture of that right here.
Oh, no.
Cool.
So
Sweet.
anyway, Dave, man, what do you got coming up, man? Gigs wise, I want to say too about my friend Dave. So back in 2009, I don't know. I'm sure Martin probably knows this band, Trigger. They were on Casablanca Records.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dave. He filled in for the deceased Jimmy Duggan.
Wow.
Did a reunion show.
Cool.
And my friend Dave here, he filled in on guitar for that band. They reunited for one show in Neptune, New Jersey, at a
Wow.
place called the Headliner.
It's still
And
there too, the headliner.
It's still there, but they just recently closed that thing though.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, this was in 2009. So, and the band, well, Dave came to me. He's like, well, the band they want to document it. So I went and I set up my video camera on a tripod, and I audio recorded it as well. And it's never been released. So I don't know. I asked the band. I think Derek's wife asked me about it or something. And
Richie House's wife, probably.
oh, Richie's wife. Sorry.
Yeah, that was so Rock Candy had done a release of the Trigger record. In fact, I was in a band with Tom Niagara, who was the bass player from Trigger, and they have no idea how Rock Candy acquired anything towards that record because the masters have long been gone. They probably just had an album and remastered it from an album, did it that way. But they had contacted the guys and said, we're going to release the CD. And they went, okay, fine, send us a bunch. And then coincide with that, they decided to play a live show. And since I was in a band with Tom, he asked me to fill in on guitar. And we played the whole album. We did some songs. recorded a second album that was never released because Casablanca went under by that point. So we did a bunch of songs from the second album. We did some covers, and it was great fun. It was and Al got the whole thing on video for me. And you got a T-shirt, I think, too.
I got a T-shirt and a CD. That was my payment. So,
But
but it was cool though.
That's a
You
pretty good slice of 70s hard rock, that album. It's very Cheap Trick, real dry guitar, catchy. You know, I think it came out in 76, that album. If you get a chance to check it out, if you like that kind of stuff. It's good kind of power pop, mid-70s rock.
Yeah. They just recently released that second album too, I think.
Yeah, Richie and Derek just finally put it out. They got somebody here. They've had like the not the finished mixes, but you know, like I don't know, some sort of mixes. Those are the ones they gave me to learn those songs off. So I guess they were good enough to release. So yeah, they did just finally release that second album.
Ah, cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. So Andy, what we got coming up next week? Anything?
I don't know what I'm doing next week yet, but I will let you know. I also got a new show on YouTube with my buddies Joseph Staub and Joseph Soupy called Pop Go the Rockers, where us rock and rollers pick a pop album that's been made during the past 10 years, and we review it and we go over it. That's been a lot of fun doing that. So that's what I got going on. And then Black Spinner Circle, of course, on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central. I'll come up with a pretty good subject for next week, and I'll let you know.
All right. And just one more thing before we end the show. I did ask Donna Halper to be on the show. She regretfully wanted to be on, but her schedule couldn't permit it. But it's coming on to the 25th anniversary of the first RushCon in Toronto, which I attended. And I was dating my wife for only 6 months at the time, and I asked her, "You want to go to Toronto to a Rush convention?" Which sometimes could be suicide to a relationship to ask a girl that. But she was cool, and she went, and I met Donna Halper there. There's a picture of me meeting her. She was there at the very first one. Yeah. And when I was very svelte, going to the gym kind of guy there, you know. And my wife, I go to the bathroom, and who does she meet while I go to the bathroom? Terry Brown.
Yeah.
Terry Brown there. Her and Terry Brown.
Cool.
And I was very jealous, so I did get his autograph, but I did get to meet him. I didn't get a picture with him. But anyway, it's coming on 25 years of that. I know you went to one or a couple, didn't you, Martin? Or
yeah, I think I've been to 4-ish and even one in St. Louis. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I went to the very first one in 2001. It wasn't very well attended yet. I mean, I know they got bigger as it went on, but that first one was kind of sparse a little bit. But I did get to meet a lot of great fans from like all over the world. I mean, I met a dude from Japan that came over there. Yeah, you know, it was cool. So it was awesome. And I only went to the very first one. I never went back. I don't know why my schedule always just never permitted me to attend another one. There was just always something going on. But anyway, but that's my story. Anyway, thank you, Martin, for coming on. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah. You know, it was great fun to have you on. Ralph, as always, you're a great friend for coming on. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And yeah, Dave and Donato, man, thanks for coming on too, man. You guys are, you know, known you guys for a long time, and finally great to have you guys on. So hopefully you come back on in the future.
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you also to Martin. Thank you for being on here. Thank you, Ralph. You're always a great guest on here, man. Always. You're great. It's very nice to meet you, Donato and Dave. Hopefully we can have y'all back here again. I really enjoyed y'all's company and y'all's expertise in music. So I hope y'all can make it back. I appreciate it so much.
Okay.
And with that,
thanks, guys.
And with that, take care. Have a great.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye.